Hi, Brockton. This is Richard Ripley. This will be my episode number 10 of my show, The Bat Bus Guy. I just want everyone to know this one's going to be in three parts. The first part is going to be a clip from a previous episode 1 year ago about with Jamal Brathwaite. He ran for councilor at large. He was a guest on my show, and he came out in full support of the threat on the bat buses, and he gave a detailed explanation about how to address it with the city council and with the mayor. So that's going to be the first part. That'll be 17 minutes. Then after that, I'm going to read you an email that I sent to Brockton High School principal. His last name is McCaskill. And also I sent it also to all the principals and assistant principals of the four middle schools in Brockton: West Middle School, East Middle School, South Middle School, and North Middle School. I'm going to read that to you because that's about the threat on the bat buses to the students. That'll be. I think you're gonna think. Well, anyway, we'll see how you feel about that. And then the last part, I'm gonna give a closing statement on the issues on the bat bus, and I'm going to answer a question that I received online about from someone who is requesting a little more information. Now let me bring on my guest. Okay, this is Jamal Brathwaite. He's a candidate for Brockton Councilor at Large. I didn't practice. Anyway, I wanted to ask you the same question that I asked Mayor Sullivan and our elected representatives. Do you believe that all residents of Brockton have a right to get on the bus safely without the driver moving the bus and endangering their safety?
Yes, I do believe that all residents in Brockton, all riders on the BAT bus deserve to safety first. The highest level of safety. And by the way, I also want to say thank you, Richard, for inviting me to your program. Thank you for raising this topic.
I've been fighting this for 9 months.
Yeah, no, and I can see, you're committed to the cause.
I'm passionate about it sometimes, too much sometimes, but I just think I can make a difference, and I'm still fighting, and all I can do is try.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the topic here about safety on the BAT bus. I was not aware of the level of risk in this issue until Richard brought it to my attention. And I think that this might be a teachable moment for us as a community to identify how we can increase safety on the BAT bus, not just for riders, but for the drivers themselves, as well as pedestrians and anyone who might be subject to the risk associated with an incident related to safety in the BAT bus. For example, one topic that you mentioned that really resonated with me was the concept of getting on the bus, and before you make payment on the bus is already driving off, or the concept of the bus potentially driving off before people had an opportunity to have a seat or secure themselves on the bus. For myself, I used public transportation for about maybe 20 years of my life, where I was dependent on public buses and public trains, and so this topic really resonates with me, and it's important that in Brockton that we are known to having safe buses, so safe that people want to come to Brockton just to ride the BAT bus because they're like, hey, this bus system is known for being so safe. We got to give it a go, and maybe it's an opportunity to do other things with the BAT bus riding conditions, so it is a more enjoyable experience. But when I hear a problem, the first thought is, well, what solutions can we have to address this? And so thoughts I wanted to share with yourself, Richard, as well as to the audience at home. By the way, just as a repeat of what Richard said earlier, my name is Jamal Brathwaite. I'm a candidate for Brockton City Council at large, and I'm encouraging everyone to go out there and please vote early. You can vote early at the Shaw Center located at 1 Feinberg Way every day from now until November 3rd, 2023. And if you wait till Election Day on November 7th, you can vote at your local polling station. But as a city council at large, steps that I would take to address safety concerns for the BAT buses, I'd say three general categories. number one, it's important that leaders in Brockton, whether it be the mayor and city council, as well as BAT bus administration, set the right tone for the public on the importance of public safety on BAT buses, and so that's one, and so they set the right tone, acknowledging the issues that you've raised, and also
to do it.
and also demonstrating what steps are going to be taken to address it. Secondly, it's just really important that for me, it's important that standards that BAT bus drivers adhere to are visible and commonly understood, and the way that could be achieved is that maybe rules could be put it on the buses themselves, where they're visible to all riders, where they can see, BAT bus standards, and they list them, maybe the top 5 standards, and these are standards that everyone riding can read and commonly see, so that if there's any issues, maybe that it could be identified immediately.
It has to be in
To
the
prevent-
the languages of the
Yeah.
community speak.
So that's, making sure standards are visible and commonly understood. And then thirdly is the importance of ensuring that an annual review takes place to, by BAT bus, by the BAT bus administration, to some kind of audit process, where there's, audit riders that are, observing the BAT bus riding experience to identify areas for improvement. One thing that I'm very committed to is the importance of continuous improvement, and that includes on the city council and the review over the financial budget, but also continuous improvement in how they would address a safety issue such as this. And so it's important that we have an annual report that's produced by BAT bus administration that documents what audit review was completed on an annual basis to ensure rider safety.
Okay.
So now, one thing I also want to highlight is the way a city council. I know that I want to also clarify from an implementation point of view the way we could get to this space that we want to be in, where these type of these 3 initiatives could be achieved, is by having the city council pass a resolution to have BAT bus administration and maybe the city solicitor and the mayor's office come before the city council to talk about BAT bus safety and what measures are in place to provide assurance to the public on the safety of BAT bus services. Now, in the past 3 years, the Brockton City Council has never passed a resolution like this. And so it's important that we have a city councilor that can identify an issue like this.
Yes.
That's what really identified
That's what I
Richard.
need. I
Richard's
need
been a
somebody.
real champion around this.
But I'm a nobody. I'm not
No,
elected.
you are somebody, and I think it's a really noble cause, especially when you talk about the importance of the safety of not just riders, but specifically riders who might be pregnant or children or the most vulnerable population in our society, and so in identifying that, and with your experience and wisdom, you can see that it's an issue, and you
Yes.
want to prevent it from occurring. We all want to prevent it from occurring. And so let's prevent it from occurring. And that's where I feel like this might be a teachable moment. So for those out there who might have heard Richard's story before and feel that maybe it didn't resonate with them, I want to reassure you that public BAT bus safety is an extension of public safety. And there's a lot of people in Brockton that are very dependent on BAT bus services. So it's important that we give them the best service, especially when it comes to the safety.
Definitely. But the problem I've noticed is now, when I went through all these months, I eventually got BAT to put up some signs. And the signs they put up, all it said was, pay your fare as quickly as possible and find a seat. And if you need more time, ask the driver to stop the bus. But that, first of all, those signs were not when you get up the steps on the bus to get on the bus. Those signs are over there somewhere, or actually over that way somewhere, over there somewhere. And you can't see them when you get on the bus. And second of all, those signs did not stress the dangerous nature of the threat when they moved that bus. All it said was pay your fare as quickly as possible and find a seat. It should have said something like on the lines of, okay, BAT cares about your safety. We want you to be safe. So for our policy is the driver will not move this bus until you either get past the yellow line or you find a seat. And if you're unsteady on your feet, ask the driver, he'll stop the bus. That's something, I know it sounds like a lot, but, you know, it can be done. But the signs that have to be explicit and tell people what this threat is, because people in Brockton don't know what the threat is.
And Richard, let me ask you a question. So in all your outreach, has any city councilor in Brockton reached out to you in response to any of your queries?
One, and that was only just recently. It was Mr. Falwell, I think his name is.
Oh, tell us about your experience or his response. Tell us, please.
If I could go to my, okay, I won't go to my phone. I'll try to remember it now. I emailed him as I emailed all the city councilors, all my elected representatives, I call them, and I asked them. I asked him about the threat on the bus. Do the people of Brockton have a right to get on the bus safely? And he said something to the effect that, well, Brockton city councilors have no authority to tell BAT what to do. He said I should call my state representative, and he said something else, but I can't go to my phone right now. And I responded to him. My response to him was, Mr. Farrell, I understand that the city council has no authority to tell BAT what to do, but you do have the prerogative to address the people, a threat that you're aware of in your district, and warn the public. I mean, you got to give the innocent people, a mother putting her kid on the bus to go to school or to go across town, the mother or father has a right to know that over the last few months, and this is documented, everybody admits it, BAT admits it, the city admits it, there's a threat on the bus. They've done their investigation, but they have not brought it down to the level of the public. And if I'm a parent, or you're a parent putting your kid on the bus, you have not a right, you have a right, yes, but you have a need to know what is going on the bus. That BAT has investigated, they've disciplined almost 50 of their drivers, and this has been going on, like I said in this email, for over 1 year. The same problem keeps happening and happening and happening and happening. So whatever BAT is currently doing to try to get this under control, it is not working. So they need to change tactics.
So, so thank you for the feedback, or just for sharing the story about you identified a problem, you try to address this solution. You started with it, trying to reach out to your elected officials. None of them responded except for Winthrop Farwell. And so, and when he responded, he said that he couldn't do anything, and suggested that you move on to your state representative.
What I don't understand about that is, I know the city council. I don't know anything, but what I don't understand is, if you're a city council in your district, if you know for a fact that there is a threat to your community, your constituents, young kids, mothers, elderly people, you know for a fact it exists. I know you don't have a legal obligation to respond, but you have a moral obligation to say something.
I would agree. I would agree with you 100%, Richard. There's definitely a moral obligation, and so that's why I'm running for Brockton City Council at large, because I also acknowledge this is an issue but as a city councilor, I would approach it differently. As a city councilor, I would actually pass a resolution to have the BAT Bus administration come before the city council to discuss safety, public safety on the buses. And so, and how is this documented, and what steps are being taken to address them, and in what areas, what process in place? Do we have an audit process over the BAT Bus? And so that, once again, it starts with setting the right tone. So if our city councilors don't set the tone that this is a priority, then it's not going to be a priority. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm running. Okay, we don't have the right tone in city council right now. Richard's observed it. I've observed it. And so let's try to solve it. And you can solve it at home by going out and voting and encouraging your friends, your family, your neighbors to go out and vote here in the city of Brockton. In the most recent election on September 19th, less than 92% of registered voters in Brockton voted. And so that's a concern, especially when we have public safety issues such as what Richard's raising to us. We got to rise up and make a difference in our community. So please, we need you to go out and vote.
Well, that's good, Jamal. I agree with all that, and I thank you for being on my show today. This is Richard Ripley, better known as the Bat Bus Guy. I'm here in the offices of Massachusetts State Representative Rita Mendez. She's going to make some comments today on our conversation about the
the threat to public safety on the BAT buses here in Brockton. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Rita now. Rita, I want to thank you for talking to me today, for the time we've talked, and I want to give you the time to make whatever statements you'd like, and let you take it away. Here's Rita.
Hi, this is Rita Mendez, and I had a very wonderful conversation with Mr. Richard Ripley today here at our office. And it is very important that we inform the community of their rights. So when people are getting on the bus, they have the right to inform the driver that they would like the driver to wait until they're sitting down before they actually get the bus moving. So this is important and crucial information that I think that we should just let the community know the proper steps and procedures to getting onto the bus safely. So we will be working to start a campaign so that we can start informing the public the correct ways that they can get on the bus and making sure that everybody is safe and that everybody has all the information that they should in order to get on the bus safety. So I really want to thank you, Mr. Ripley, to bring this important issue to our attention. And if people have questions and concerns, please do reach out to my office.
Hey, welcome back, Brockton. Yeah, I'm going to start the second part of my episode 10. I'm going to read you the email that I sent to Principal McCaskill and the principals and assistant principals of all the middle schools here in Brockton about the threat on the BAT buses. It begins, Principal McCaskill, my name is Richard Ripley. My reason for contacting you is to prevent a Brockton High School student from being unnecessarily injured on the BAT bus. Let me begin by saying I ran for Brockton Mayor last year to sound the alarm on bus safety. Principal McCaskill, I am taking a chance that you are not part of the culture of incompetence that recent investigations have concluded is running rampant in this administration, including the Brockton Council, City Council, and the Brockton School Committee. I am assuming that you are a caring principal who will act responsibly and with an abundance of caution to ensure the safety of your students. Everything I am about to say is documented. Principal McCaskill, it is critical that as you read this email, and all the others reading this email, that you keep in mind that neither the mayor, Mayor Sullivan, nor the city council, nor the school committee has ever issued a public alert or statement warning the parents of students or the people of Brockton about this dangerous threat that has been confirmed on the city buses. Next, I have reported approximately 90 individual illegal dangerous safety violations to BAT management and Mayor Sullivan. The most recent illegal dangerous safety threat was just a few weeks ago, and that was confirmed by BAT. I have the documents to prove that, the email from BAT, which proves that this threat, as I've stated many, many times, is ongoing. Again, it is ongoing. BAT management has investigated each incident and has disciplined approximately 50 to 55 drivers. Next, let's see. I also contacted Councilor at Large William Farwell, who has stated the same thing to me. Brockton City Councilor at Large Winthrop Farwell also has concluded that this is not a city issue. There's nothing the city can do. The city has no responsibility to act and inform the public of this threat on the buses. I have informed Mayor Sullivan and Councilor Farwell and the school committee that any documented and confirmed illegal dangerous public safety threat anywhere in Brockton, whether it's on the school buses or anywhere that affects children and seniors, is a city issue. I informed both BAT and Mayor Sullivan and the City Council and the school committee, etc., of a particularly scary, dangerous threat to a young, innocent student at West Middle School. This is what happened with this kid at the West Middle School. I was on the number 9 bus coming home from a doctor's appointment. As the bus approached West Middle School was letting out. The driver picked up 2 young kids, 1 girl and 1 boy, on West Elm Street. The girl got on the bus with no problem. The young, innocent boy got on, and the uncaring driver immediately started moving the bus into traffic while the kid was stuck. The school student, was stuck standing between the driver and the bus doors. The boy was facing the windshield with his backpack on the windowsill looking for his bus fare. His whole body was swaying back and forth while he tried to maintain his balance and not fall down on the moving bus. When the video shows, the kid had a very scared look on his face. The driver was oblivious as he drove down West Elm Street for approximately 6 or 8 blocks. If the driver had to suddenly hit the brakes, this is why it's so dangerous. If the driver had to suddenly hit the brakes while that kid was standing there right in front of the windshield, in front of that yellow line, that kid would have been forcibly thrown into the windshield and potentially seriously injured. That is the threat I'm trying to get across to people. Let's see. I have asked BAT to publicly release the bus tape of this incident with this West Middle School student, so the parents and the people in Brockton can see for themselves why this threat on the bus is so dangerous. They have all refused to respond. BAT has refused to respond. I have asked Mayor Sullivan, who is also chairman of BAT's advisory board, which has oversight of safety issues on BAT, and who is chairman of BAT's board of directors, its highest governing body, to also order BAT to release the bus tapes. The mayor refuses to respond. The specific law being violated, if you want to look it up, is the Code of Federal Regulations, Title 49, Section 393.90. The reason it is a federal law is because of the scary, dangerous scenario that I described above. Principal McCaskill, all I am seeking is a public statement from you or the city or the mayor issued to warn the parents of the truth, so the parents of the school kids can be aware and can speak to their kids. See, the problem is a lot of parents in the city don't know that their kids take the bus. I live across from North Middle School, and I notice every day 50 or 60 kids, students, getting on and off those buses. And it happens at the Brockton High School and all the middle schools and the Brockton High School. And the parents don't realize it, but their kids are on those buses, whether they realize it or not. Even if it's just after school, when school ends, they take the bus to go home. Or on weekends, they take the bus to get around the city. So parents around the city, I want you to know, your kids are on those buses, whether you believe it or not. They are on those buses. What really bothers me is that everybody agrees this threat is real, but they all say it's not a city problem. I even went to the Brockton School Committee meeting on 9/18/2024, just about a little over a month ago. Just a little month ago, I brought the documents with me to prove what I was saying in my 3-minute public statement. The committee refused to even accept the documents. You can view my 3-minute statement on Brockton Community Access. Just contact Brockton Community Access and find out how you can watch it. Principal McCaskill, I know that last week at Brockton High School, a student tablet or computer suddenly caught fire, and you, acting with an abundance of caution for the safety of students and faculty and administrators, you ordered a complete evacuation of Brockton High School. I applaud you for that. That's great. That's what you should have done. I also believe that this illegal, dangerous, and ongoing public safety on BAT buses requires the same action of you to act with an abundance of caution and simply contact the public in a public statement, especially the parents, and tell them the truth. I don't want you to scare them. I simply want you to tell them what the information they need to know, that this threat is real. It's affected already one student and probably many others, but I don't ride the buses every day, so I don't know how many have been affected. But the threat is real, and the parents need to know this information so they can speak to their kids and explain to the kids that as long as you're standing in front of that yellow line, facing the driver, trying to put your money in the fare, it's illegal for that driver to move that bus. And you have to tell your kids, tell that driver, please don't move that bus until I sit down. That is the law. You need to explain that to your kids so they can be safe. Okay, that's the end of part 2. Now, part 3 is going to be, first I want to address a comment I received from a gentleman called Donnie Walls. I received this, I think about 3 or 4 days ago. Online, I think it was on Facebook. He said to me, Mr. Ripley, you've gone online many times. I've seen your comments, and you keep talking repeatedly about this dangerous illegal threat on the BAT buses. But you've never, he says, you've never actually stated what that threat is. Well, in that email I just read for you to the principals, I did address it in one way. But there's another way that why this is so dangerous. And again, everything I'm going to tell you is documented. I have the emails. I'm glad to give them to anybody that wants them. I'm pretty sure it's 4 or 5 emails, and this is what happened. And it's all been documented and confirmed by BAT management, and the drivers were disciplined. What happens is some people, I know it was a couple of young ladies and one young man, they got on the bus. As soon as they got on the bus, even with the doors behind them wide open, the driver hit the gas and pushed their whole body went backwards, and one person nearly fell out the door. The doors are wide open. That's another reason this threat is so dangerous. And then the other 3, when they fell backwards, their hands grabbed something to stop themselves from either falling out the door or falling to the floor. Now again, these are documented and confirmed by BAT management. The drivers were disciplined. That's another reason why this threat is so dangerous, why that driver should not be moving that bus until people get across that yellow line. And I want to explain to the people, the good people of Brockton. I know there's good, caring people out there. I know you're there. I don't think I've reached you yet, but I'm trying to reach you more and more. And I just want you to understand, I understand a lot of people in Brockton say, oh, well, the BAT bus, I don't ride the bus, my kids don't ride the bus, I'm not gonna worry about the BAT bus. But I want you to just think for a minute. Now, we have the holidays coming up, Christmas and everything, and kids. Now, I want you to think for a minute. Okay, you don't take the bus, but there's a lot of low-income and poor kids in this city who ride the bus. And these kids have done nothing wrong. They're innocent kids. Their parents cannot afford a car. They have the right to be safe on the BAT bus. And I'm asking some people in Brockton to please step forward and support me and contact the mayor's office or your city councilors or contact me and try to support me into getting the mayor or the city council to issue a joint statement with BAT and just tell the people the truth. Again, don't scare them. Just tell them the truth. Because just because you don't ride the bus, there's many thousands of people in the city. Good people, very good people. And especially the kids and the seniors. They've done nothing wrong. Please, they have the right to get on a bus safely. And the mayor has told me, and the city councilors have told me, particularly Councilor Lally and Councilor, I think, Asak, and a couple of others. I have them in my phone here. They've told me that, Mr. Ripley, the people in Brockton don't care. You can go on and on about this, but the people don't care. I don't believe that. I just think I haven't reached the right people. And I know there are good people out there, and I'd just like you to step forward and just simply say to the mayor, hey, look, let's be honest now. This threat is real. Your own administration, Mr. Mayor, has confirmed this is real. Tell the people. Don't just gamble on people's lives. Give them the benefit of knowing what the threat is. Spell out what the threat is and tell them what it is and tell them how they can protect themselves. That's about all I had today for this episode. I hope I can finally get through to some of the people. Because really, I love kids so much, and I really don't want to see a kid get hurt. And we have to protect the kids and the seniors and the disabled community who ride the buses. I mean, you can't, we just have to. I just think it's the right thing to do. I think Brockton can be better than what we are. Brockton, I know there's a lot of problems in the city, but we should all be able to stand up for public safety.